We need your help on what to call it. Okay. This is Panda. Mwah. She's going to get a haircut next week. We have 3 things to talk about. I'm going to start trying to structure these videos with 3 things each time. Sometimes I'm just all over the place. Sometimes it's more vlogging style. And those vlogging videos are great. They're a lot of work. And what I've realized is that the most efficient and effective thing to do for these videos is to do them just as an update video where I tell you very specific things that you need to know as a ministry partner. But 3 things. One is an update on the Bible Study Methods video training course. We have a dog going wild down here. Panda. She was just rubbing around down there. Do it again. Okay, whatever. Update on the video course. Second is update on bivocational ministry opportunities and where we're at with that. And the third is an update on, well, not really an update, just getting you guys in the know with our digital strategies future direction plan. As of this morning of recording, I just met with the board and we finalized some things. Bible Study Methods video training course. I'm going to tell you what this is. As some of you may not know, I'm going to ask a question, so we need your help, and then tell you what next steps you can take. The video training course is essentially going to equip you from this book. In the back is an appendix. If I can learn how to flip a page, an appendix, right? So there's 135 topics in here, subjects that outline what does Jesus say about this issue, right? This issue on this page is pornography and then poverty, and it's just alphabetical order, prayer, predestination. And then in the back of the book is this appendix, which is essentially your bibliology, Christology, Christianese 101. And what we have done, me, and the theological team, which consists of 4 highly experienced, highly educated individuals who've been in ministry a very long time and each bring a unique skill and perspective to the table. We worked through this appendix and outlined a handful of things to help further equip you to understand the truth by starting with the words of Jesus. In here is a Bible study method. This is essentially training you on how to properly expose the truth of Scripture, which is, in short, an inductive Bible study method, which is trained at almost every seminary. There's plenty of resources out there, entire books dedicated to how to study the Bible. What we've done is taken all of that information and condensed it into just a few pages to help guide you through any scripture you might be dealing with. That's what is in here, and we developed a video training course to walk you through that. In that course, I take you through step by step, and at the same time, we use the topic of salvation from in this book as an example, a case study of how to navigate this, specifically John 3:16. That's the video course. I take you through the Bible study methodology by looking at the topic of salvation, focusing on John 3:16 as our scripture of focus. It's a course that can be done in under 1 hour. So you and your Sunday school class or your small group could go through the course in a single meeting. And then you can pick any of the topics that you want to discuss and then go through the study together in future meetings. Or, like I've said in previous videos, you can get one of our workbooks. Right now, you can download The Gospel, a topical approach to what does Jesus say about the gospel. It's a free PDF workbook. You can download it, print out as many copies as you want. That's available right now. Soon in the future, we'll be releasing more workbooks strategically with video resources to go along with them. All that to say, this video course is awesome. I am super excited about it. We've worked for a very long time to get it to where it is today so that it could be highly accessible for you. But calling it a Bible study methods video training course has a lot of syllables. And we need your help on what to call it. Is calling it this very descriptive title good? Is there some name that, hey, Panda, is there some name that comes to your mind of what to call this Red Letter Basics Bible Study Method video training course that is not so robust but still communicates what it is? I don't know. I'm normally really good at brainstorming and coming up with names, and I'm running blank on this. I want it to be descriptive, but I want it to be easy to remember and not a mouthful of words every time. In about a month, sometime in November, it will go live. It's in post-production right now. It's getting really close to being finished. And in November, we're going to be launching it. And you can pre-register for it right now. There's a link in the description and then in the newsletter email that I sent out to everyone on our list. And you can pre-register for that right now and be the first to know when it goes live. As soon as we make it go live, I'm going to send out that link to where you can access the training course. The second thing that we are going to talk about is update on bivocational ministry opportunities. Panda, come here. Panda, come on. I have searched out churches to go on staff as a college and young adult pastor. And I had multiple interviews at 3 different churches, and none of those seemed to make sense. And then I started looking into different like marketplace jobs, and had some interviews, and all of those were a no. And dealing with rejection is really hard. Just be totally transparent. One of my insecurities is the fear of being left out and not included. And that's a form of rejection. And the last months through this summer, the Lord has really been exposing that a lot in my heart. And learning to trust Him in this has been a huge growing process for me. One of the prayers going into this, there's this idea that, going bivocational, it would increase the financial capacity of Red Letter Basics by like 80% if I do the math right. And that's all well and good, but the prayer was, Lord, I don't want to do this if you don't want me to do this. And I need you, Lord, to close the doors that you don't want me to walk through. That's what's been happening. Rejection is tough, but it's an answer to prayer. Sometimes the answer to our prayers is tough to deal with, but it's an answer nonetheless. So we're continuing forward as we have been, just baby steps, slow and steady wins the race. I have big ambitions and desires for what Red Letter Basics can be one day. We have outlined a lot of resources to develop, and if we had $1 million, we would be able to do all of those resources in 5 years. It's close to 300 videos and print resources to go along with all of it. We're not there yet. Hey, you wild animal. Hey, come here. Come here. I normally don't have her in here filming, but I figured I'd try it today. We're not at that point. The Lord has been very generous to us through our ministry team, and it is enough to cover the base needs for the operations of the ministry. So it's not like we're, struggling, but we are having to be very intentional about every dollar spent, which is a good place to be. I'd rather struggle with how to spend what we have than struggle to not have. So I'm very thankful. So we're continuing forward and trusting in the Lord. The third thing is about our future direction, specifically with our digital strategies. We are continuing forward with trying to do in-person trainings, some by video call. We've done a couple of those. I do in-person trainings with small groups. We've done about a half dozen of them this year, and it's really awesome. It's hard in those trainings to capture, pictures and videos to show you guys. It's, a little awkward to just stop in the middle and say, okay, smile, we're doing a picture. And it's hard to have, cameras involved in a small group setting. It makes a little bit more sense at larger events, and possibly by the end of this year, we might do something like that. But we've had about a half dozen in-person trainings throughout the year. We have a few groups, 2 churches in the area that have utilized Red Letter Basics. One of them actually has Red Letter Basics in their church library. It's super encouraging. And then we've had some small groups go through it as well. So we're continuing forward with that. But our digital strategies, the plan has been, and we're sticking with this plan, we're just adjusting how we get there. And this matters for you guys because anyways, the plan has been to build out digital resources specific to subjects in the book, all the topics and the appendix, to do a podcast, long-form video podcast for every single thing that's in the book. That right there is about 150 podcast episodes. Then in addition to that, making a 3 to 5 minute video for every single one of those. That's just a quick highlight reel of everything you need to know about that topic as you dive into your study. That's about 300 videos. The plan has been to produce that as like a season approach, right? So season 1 is kind of our hero season that covers, who is the ministry. It covers things from the appendix, the Bible study method course is a part of that, all these things. And that budget was looking like $12,000 per season. And funding for that is moving really slow. So the board and I have come to a decision of, instead of waiting to get the funds in order to do that, what we're going to do is start moving forward with recording the podcasts, and then I will be the one working the cameras at the same time as running the interviews and editing it in the back end and all that stuff, instead of hiring production vendors to do all of that for us. So that's exciting, right? That means we're going to get to work on the podcasts a lot sooner, which is really cool because a lot of people on the ministry team are like, oh my gosh, when are you going to get into podcasting? Like, I would love to listen to the theological team talk about all this stuff. And I would too. So that's what we're going to do. For the first season, I'm going to interview the theological team for all the episodes that we've outlined. I'm going to work the cameras and edit and all that. In other words, there's going to be a lot of learning for me. I'm getting okay at editing these types of videos where it's just me. I can stop and do things and all that, but interviewing, it gets a little different. There's just a lot more to process with it. So we're going to figure it out as we go, and I'm so thankful that you guys are along for this wild journey of starting up a ministry from scratch. It's a lot of work, and I'm so thankful for every single one of you for being a part of this ministry team, for your generosity, for your prayer, support, encouragement, and all the ways that you have helped bring this thing together, your feedback especially. So before we go, what should we call the Bible Study Methods video training course for Red Letter Basics? It's very wordy. I think there should be something that's a little bit more concise, a little bit more exciting, and not so hoity-toity. Anyways, love you guys. Always remember what God is doing in your life and through your life.